Have you met your twin flame or have you met a narcissist? Hi, if you guys are new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm the founder of Raw Motivations, the creator of the NARC app, and your guide in the 45-day Clarity Challenge that you can access here at claritychallenge.net. If you like what you see here, talking about narcissism, narcissistic abuse, anything like that, narcissism related, please subscribe. Hit that little notification and be able to see when we release a new video. We're releasing new videos every single day. You don't want to miss out. Today we want to talk about twin flames. Have you heard that phrase? Do you know what it actually is? Well, falling in love with your twin flame can seem really amazing and can seem like the best thing ever until it's not. You might have something where you've gotten involved with someone that felt like a twin flame, felt like your soulmate, the person you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life, but what's actually going on there? Today, I want to go through and actually tell you a little bit of what twin flames actually look like, and then also see some of the pitfalls of it being in a narcissistic way that sometimes can confuse people about what's actually going on. So, in order to figure out what's actually going on when we talk about twin flames, we look some stuff up about twin flames that we want to bring to the table. So we actually have a link that I'll have in here from brides.com, but it's going through and it gives 8 different things that you might be able to identify of like, hey, if this matches up, you might be dealing with someone who is your twin flame. This might be someone that you met, that you fell in love with, and then all of a sudden it's like toxic and you're like, what's going on? Okay, so we're going to dive into what is a twin flame and then how does this actually match up when we're talking about narcissism. Well, it goes into 8 different things. Number 1 says, in order to know that it's your twin flame, you'll have instant recognition. It's almost like your attraction is like in tune. It's like this instant bond. It's this instant connection of like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. We are the soulmates. We are the best thing ever. Okay, that instant recognition of like, this person, they get me. Like, I know this is what's going on. The second thing is they say intense emotions. Now, with these intense emotions, it's the idea of them being stronger than you ever experienced. It's been a high and a low sometimes of, wait, this is really good and maybe this is really bad, but it's going to feel more intense than what it's ever felt before in your life. The idea of having a twin flame means that there's going to be giant sections of being really connected, and that means really good moments and, really tough moments along the way as well. The third thing that they bring up is this idea of synchronicity. Hopefully I said it right. And this is the idea of having these shared interests, shared coincidences, a lot of different things that have happened in the past. The hard thing with dealing with a narcissist is a lot of times those shared coincidences and shared things aren't always actually real. But sometimes they're things that they've brought up or that they've made or manufactured to make them feel a little bit more like they're connected with you when that's not the case. When we're talking about twin flames, those are your top 3 that they list out. Number 4 is the idea of amplified insecurities or doubts. This is the idea that the other person might be mirroring you. Now, it's talking in the twin flame aspect. It's talking not in a toxic way. It's just saying, hey, this person is the mirror version of you. Like they are your other half. They're the other person to you that completes you. But it also might be someone who's actually showing you your faults and your flaws. And so a lot of times when they're talking about twin flame, it's supposed to be the idea that this person here is engaging with you in a different way to help reveal the things inside you that you need to fix and that you need to work on. The hard thing with this is a lot of times you have, from a narcissistic perspective, that person isn't coming into your life revealing the stuff that's inside you, but a lot of times projecting and pushing a lot of things onto you. Number 5, going into it, is the idea of feeling drawn to the other person. This is the idea of having a magnetic pull, almost like you're being like sucked into that relationship because you're so connected. It's so right, all those different types of things. And a lot of times the twin flame idea is talking on the spiritual level, on the spiritual side of what's actually going on. The hard thing with this is a lot of times that pull, even though it feels very magnetic and very amazing, sometimes that pull could be pulling you to toxicity and a lot of things going on there. Number 6 that talks about is oftentimes the relationship can be really turbulent. It'd be the idea of like it can be chaotic. The ugly part can not be that great. It can be pretty bad. And sometimes it's kind of like wondering, like, wait a second, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? This is what I'm not supposed to be doing, which leads to number 7 that it talks about of identifying twin flames, which is the idea of it being on or off again, of like what's actually real. Like this is great, but this isn't great, and going back and forth. And then number 8 is the idea of, as a twin flame, the goal would be that the other person is inspiring you to be a better person. It's the idea of having untapped potential, and that person is helping bring that out and is helping that grow. It gives a lot of the ideas about spiritual growth in that aspect. Okay? Well, as you think about that, does that kind of resonate at all? Of like, have you found a twin flame, or have you found a narcissist? Is the person that's in your life exemplifying some of these characteristics, some of the things that are happening, but you're like, wait a second, this actually isn't someone who's bettering me or helping me, but maybe someone who's actually quite toxic. A lot of times people think that there is a twin flame, that there is a person out there to be super connected with. And while that might be true for some people, for other people out there, when they get really connected with a toxic person, it feels like it's a twin flame. It feels like it's the best thing ever, but a lot of that is manufactured. A lot of those things that we listed, those 8 different traits, are very much narcissistic goals of, I need to be able to connect with you and to be able to get this to a certain level. I need to be able to get it so that you instantly recognize that we have a bond that nobody else has. I need to be able to create these highs and these lows, these intense emotions, so you feel like we're connected on a whole different level. A lot of this goes back to the aspect of narcissistic grooming and engaging with people to try to get them connected and bonded, like a trauma bond, really, really quickly. If you haven't had a chance to be able to see some of my videos about narcissists grooming their victims, those are really key and influential in understanding sometimes the thought process and what's going on behind the scenes. You see, oftentimes narcissists mirror you. They mirror your insecurities. They mirror the things that you're struggling with to try to make themselves either look better or try to be able to hide their insecurities that they have of themselves and of things that are already happening on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes you'll find this with a narcissist who doesn't really know what they like, what's been developed, what they actually like, their hobbies, or what they actually want to do. It's like they have one and then they go to someone else and it's completely different. You're like, how does it make sense? They love this and now they hate this. Like, what's going on? It's because a narcissist doesn't really care either way about what they're actually doing, about what they're looking at. But what they do is they latch on to someone else. And if they can pull that identity and that piece of them with someone else, then a lot of times they'll hide their insecurities that way. Well, when we talk about building that instant bond and building that instant connection, a lot of times narcissists will use anything and everything. For me, a lot of times it was bringing up a small, simple moment, a small aspect of connection with someone and trying to get that connection to a place where it would be almost like exclusive or like a secret or something that only we shared. If I could do that, then I knew that I could create a little one-up, a little triangulation, a one-up between myself and other people to say, hey, this is a connection I have with this person that is more special, that is better than other connections that other people have. A lot of it goes back to that connection, that control, and try to be able to do this. Well, the idea of the twin flames, a lot of times when people lock into that, it ties them into the idea that people are created to be together, that you have one person out there or this is the best person. And a lot of times it doesn't match up that way. So last but not least, I want to kind of touch into the idea that just being the same and like identifying like we have the same values, all this stuff, it's amazing, does not mean to tolerate abuse. Oftentimes people are struggling with the thought or reality that can actually like move them to like help go to the next level because they're like, wait a second, we're so connected. I love this person so much. I don't want to let go of this. But oftentimes this has turned really toxic and people don't want to actually acknowledge that or actually admit what's going on. Does any of this resonate with you today? Is this anything that you're like, wait a second, this kind of makes me question. I thought this person was my twin flame. I thought this person was a super high on the connected scale, but it turns out they might have just been a narcissist because of all the toxicity that they brought in. If this is something that you're identifying with and you're like realizing like, wait a second, I'm seeing this a little bit different, I want to encourage you to reach out for help. We've developed a program called the 45-Day Clarity Challenge to help you get free from toxicity and help you get free from abuse. Now, this doesn't just mean you have to be physically free. We're talking mentally free. And it's a process of 45 days of logging in each day, of going through with a group of like-minded people who are also going through the same shit that you're going through at the same time. Will you find yourself? Will you understand who you are? Will you get back the you that used to be before the toxicity? 2023 is coming up fast. It's a new year to find the new you. Make that choice today and get free from toxicity. I hope you guys will join us. We're super excited. We'll be launching this again for a short period of time. You've got 7 days from the start of this video to be able to sign up. You can go to claritychallenge.net. Would love to be able to help you as you continue to heal, grow, and change in that environment.